The prince staggered out of the great hall. Dear Lord, what had he done? He had just married the daughter of the rebel president, a commoner. Even though the ceremony was done under the name Bob Warren's, he knew full well that a marriage under an alias was still legally binding. He wandered aimlessly through the maze of catacomb corridors, unusually lively that day. Eventually, he caught sight of the real Trebitch. That's who he'd been looking for.
Man, what was that inside? With the priest?
That looked like a wedding to me. No?
That wasn't the prophet marrying us.
Of course not. We couldn't find him. Turns out the prophet had been loitering down at the docks, tipping off the dock workers that the Chinese were stealing their liquor.
But what does this mean now?
The dock workers will beat up the Chinese.
I'm not asking about the Chinese. I'm asking about me. What's gonna happen to me?
Did you also steal liquor?
Don't act stupid.
I swear I'm not acting.
So, is my marriage valid?
Absolutely.
Why didn't you tell me the prophet wasn't here?
I only just heard. He's hiding from the Chinese now. He's scared they'll kill him tonight.
This is madness. Good God, said the prince and grabbed Busy Gizzard, who, as only he knew, was in fact the real Trebitch.
Tell me, man, do you at least have a plan?
Yes. Tonight we go out, 20 men, each with a club, and wait for the prophet.
Right. Clearly I can't have a rational conversation with you. But let me warn you, if this was a trap, I will kill you.
He stormed off. Trebitch stared after him, dumbfounded and hopelessly confused, and shrugged.
What on earth does he want from me anyway?
24 hours later, the Radzir set sail, but not without some drama beforehand, mainly involving Fred.
Naturally, the Radzir's course will be commanded by its captain.
Not me.
Then he stood up with great importance and hiked his trousers all the way to his armpits, like a man about to receive a medal, or rob a laundry line. The Radzir cruiser had originally been borrowed, stolen from the Royal Navy by Fred during a tight spot. Later his crew pulled off a few bold escapades, and instead of punishment, the state rewarded them, amnesty and ownership of the Radzir itself. For a while they roamed the seas in peace, but Fred was a tyrant, and more importantly he kept embezzling funds meant for ship expenses. Eventually the crew rebelled, and during a storm near the Cape of Good Hope, gave him a proper slapping and kicked him off the ship. He never went back. Oddly enough, without Fred, the Radzir never ran properly. Nobody knows how the old rascal managed it, but wherever they went they had fuel, food, income, and before every storm somehow, they were always conveniently near a port. Once he was off, everything ground to a halt. The cruiser ended up stranded in Singapore, out of fuel. The Graceful One finally rented it, crew included. When Fred suddenly reappeared in Singapore's underworld and started manipulating events from the shadows, he refused to speak to his old mates.
You're the only one who can command the Radzir, Fred.
Not interested. I already gave instructions. A moron could follow them. Let the doctor lead.
Look, Fred. Come. I'm willing to make amends. You behaved horribly. You stole a lot. You're a cold-hearted, wicked mutt. But I admit, we fell apart without you. You've got the devil on speed dial and you cheat everyone. That's why we regret throwing you off the cruiser. Which, to be fair, you absolutely deserved. Now, do you want an even grander apology?
That was a very manly speech, Doctor.
All right, Doctor, listen up.
He folded his arms like a disappointed prophet who just realized the commandments were printed upside down.
For the Graceful One's sake, I'll return to the ship. My conditions: I drink as much as I want. I steal as much as I can, as long as I don't get caught.
Fine, but I insist. No more cigars showing up in the fuel budget.
Accepted. A martyr must endure petty bureaucracy.
Then shake hands.
That wasn't part of the deal.
Several days passed at sea, far from land. The prince was brought up from the lower deck. He'd been locked below this whole time.
You may take a little walk.
The prince staggered as he stepped into the daylight. The fins of the sharks circling the ship caught the sun and glimmered on the waves.
Where's Big Buffalo?
Couldn't have him and Dirty Fred on the same boat.
And Redclaw? I mean, my dear wife?
She's in command. Everyone loves her and fears her. A real man.
Then why marry?
The sun was blazing, the deck warm. His Majesty quite enjoyed the walk, but Fred's voice howled through the air.
Hey, Doctor, who gave you permission to bring the wild child topside? A prisoner is a prisoner. I won't allow this.
Couldn't care less what you allow.
You'd kill this boy. Let him rot in the dark.
Yes, he's a crook, a thief, a con man.
And what are you then?
Let's not derail the topic. This isn't about me.
We're done listening to you.
He belongs in the cabin below.
Come on, wild child. Let's go.
They took him to the doctor's cabin.
You live here now. May that devil Fred choke on his anger.
The crew's resentment toward the captain gradually morphed into a warm, if somewhat puzzled sympathy for Warren's. Not only was he given proper meals, but someone even prepared a bath for him, an unprecedented luxury on the Radzir. And then came the final touch. A cadet uniform was dug out from the old storage closet. It fit him perfectly, as if it had been tailored for him by fate, or at least by a very precise quartermaster. It once belonged to a former cadet of the Radzir, long since gone, and now found a second life on the buoy. Cleaned up, freshly shaved, and dressed in full uniform, the prince no longer resembled the ragged, dazed fugitive they had dragged aboard. He had regained his former expression, gentle, noble, almost angelic. When he finally stepped out in the cadet uniform, looking for all the world like a well-behaved naval prodigy, there was a beat of silence. And then the crew very nearly burst into applause.
You'll see what Redclaw says. We answer to her, not that brat.
Bark all you want, old shark. We don't serve anyone. We serve ourselves.
Ugh, she's got them all under her spell.
I bet she's plotting something with Fred.
Could be. Something's brewing.
That evening, Red Claw walked onto the deck. A few dark glares met her gaze. Only Fred greeted her with a big, oily smile. And everyone realized how much better his face looked when not smiling.
Lovely weather, Commander. Smooth sailing.
Fred the bootlicker? Unthinkable. Red Claw didn't seem impressed either. She soon retreated to her cabin. Next morning, Tahiti shimmered on the horizon. Red Claw stepped onto the deck. By the railing stood a young man doing tricks with walnuts and cards. The crew was in stitches, but when she appeared, the laughter died. Only Fred shouted a greeting.
Doctor, who is that?
Your husband, Commander. Bob Warrens.
Had he really changed so much? That clever, handsome face, was it really the same she once feared in her dreams? The young man turned to face her, a wicked, mocking grin spreading across his face. He snapped her a cheeky salute, said something to the sailors. And they all burst out laughing. Without a word, Red Claw turned on her heel and stormed off to her cabin, slamming the door behind her with a bang that echoed across the deck. She paced for a long while, agitated and restless. Then she rang the bell.
Send Bob Warrens to me.
Moments later, there was a knock at the door. She straightened her posture.
Come in. Have a seat, Mr. Warrens.
Thank you, senorita.
Why, senorita? I'm a married woman.
That's just a diplomatic status. Doesn't mean much in practice.
Why did you look so dreadful when I last saw you?
Got into a few scuffles earlier. Happens with escaped convicts.
Did you kill Prince Saint Antonio?
Naturally.
And the Regent Fernandez too?
Of course. May I have some more tea?
How many people have you killed?
He paused, as if genuinely calculating.
Hard to say. Not counting the natives, around 40.
Redclaw stared, mouth open, horrified.
And you could sleep at night?
Only when I was single.
Such charm, wit, elegance. And yet, a killer, a pirate's son. The totem and documents made it clear. This was Bob Warren's.
You sound like you're mocking me. I don't know what to believe.
Shall I tell you the one time I lied to you?
When?
When I said I prefer curvy women with dark skin. Not true. I'm tragically drawn to slender blondes, like you.
Before she could reply, he kissed her. Thoroughly. Redclaw froze, maybe in shock, maybe something else. Then she shoved him away.
Pirate scoundrel, yo, how dare you? That was outrageous.
A bit of tenderness between husband and wife. Rare these days, but not unheard of.
He grinned. He was painfully charming in that cadet uniform. He saluted.
Good night, Ana Alvarez.
A strange tension crossed her face. Murderer. Pirate. Thief, she thought. And to her horror, she realized she couldn't bring herself to hate him. To be continued.